Welcome back to Indiana Diecast Racing. Despite distractions from the real world, this is the continuing first round action of the Final Fantasy Fracas, and today we've got groups 37 and 38. They haven't had much luck this tournament, but Fractal Panda Racing hits the track again with the Pink Panda in probably an Audi, weighing in at 61 grams. Raw Sun God Racing is going to give it another go, this time with Zuru, driving a purple Typhoon called Hurricane, clocking in at 61 grams as well. Representing Dogtown Racing, Wenzel Rummel, is driving Ribbon Snake, a 63-gram night shifter. And lastly, Wolfie Wolfgang returns to the track for Funky Mother Chicken Racing in the 55-gram Pocket Rocket, a torque twister. Panda and Zuru start up front, Wenzel and Wolfie in the back. Zuru jumps out of the gate, exits turn 1 with Panda alongside his door, but now he turns on the jets. Panda gets sideways out of turn 2 and Zuru really takes off now. Panda leads the field in reverse, but lap 1 is all Zuru and Raw Sun God Racing. Panda takes second, Wenzel is third. Here comes Wolfie Wolfgang, but will he have enough to make it? Yes! Ludicrous speed, go! Zuru with the initial win from the outside lane. Wenzel assumes the pole, and for some reason now I'm craving a pretzel. He gets a really good start on that inside lane, and by turn 2 he's already well ahead of Panda and Zuru on the outside. He glides through Echo Base, and Panda shuts the door on a pass attempt by Zuru in the back. Something has happened to Wolfie, he's off the track, and lap 2 is going to be Wenzel Rummel, the Pink Panda, and Zuru. Whoa, and apparently Wolfie has taken out the Taro sign too. Wolfie apparently spins entering the Savage Square, climbs the outside wall in reverse, and miraculously slides down off the track before Panda and Zuru come flying by. Wolfie apparently kept rolling and was caught on the final straight cam. No points for style, unfortunately, as the rest of the group is all tied up at the halfway point. Wolfie moves up front, but he's going to need a pair of stellar finishes to recover from that 1-point first half. He gets a good start and a decent push from Zuru down the back straight. They get single file and Wolfie leads them into Echo Base. He spins and collects Zuru. Zuru makes the pass while Wolfie and Wenzel face off nose to nose. They come to the final straight and Zuru takes lap 2. Wenzel claims second while the Pink Panda and Wolfie Wolfgang DNF mere inches from the finish line. Wolfie had a good thing going but loses control exiting Echo Base, first allowing Zuru to take the lead, then giving up second to Wenzel just as they come to the final turn. Panda comes out of nowhere to also make the pass but blows a tire, and the pair come to a stop before they can earn some points. Zuru and Wenzel jump out to a large and important lead over Panda as the group heads to the final lap. Pink Panda's pretty much got a win, but he starts behind Zuru on the inside lane. With no one in front of him, and starting on that inside lane, Zuru looks really strong heading around the top of the track. Things aren't looking good for Panda, who's lagging behind the field. Zuru racks up another victory, Wenzel pushes past Wolfie for second, and Pink Panda doesn't get it done. Zuru and Wenzel take the top 2 spots and move on to round 2. On to Group 38, and Raw Sun God Racing is going to make a double feature today with Liftoff, driving Countdown, a rocket fire weighing 53 grams. Next up is Lone Star from Live Young Diecast in Falling With Style, a 59-gram Space Ranger Alpha Buzz. Funky Mother Chicken Racing also has a second driver today. Miles is driving the Spider-Man named Black Widow, weighing in at 49 grams. And lastly, representing Arlo Racing is Jay Callahan, not to be confused with Tommy Callahan of Callahan Auto Parts. Jay is driving Jump Jet, a 44-gram Eruption. Let's-a go! Liftoff and Lone Star up front, Miles and Jay in the back. Lone Star and Jay blast out of the gate in that outside lane. Oh no! Miles has jumped the track and wrecks before turn 2. It's a 3-car race. Jay slides but stays on the track. Lone Star is making this look easy as he flies to the win. Jay bounces around the final straight but takes second, and we've got ourselves a double DNF to open the group as Liftoff has stalled on the backside of the Savage Square. So looking closely at Miles, I can't honestly explain what caused him to jump the track, but apparently those tires create some good friction on the sidewalls. Lone Star and Jay with a decent start. Miles drives from the pole on lap 2, Liftoff on the outside. A closer start this time, but Miles pulls ahead with some help from Jay. Lone Star and Liftoff are slow in the back, and Miles pulls away from Jay. Jay is sideways doing everything he can to block Lone Star as Miles coasts to a much better finish than on lap 1. And believe it or not, it's a triple DNF as Jay and Lone Star have come to a stop in the final turn, and Liftoff has lifted off the track up at the exit of Hogwarts. Halfway, and no one has been able to escape the DNF monster. Group 38 is wide open. Jay and Miles start up front for lap 3, Lone Star and Liftoff in the back. Things not looking good for Liftoff, who failed to put up a single point from either of his front row starts. Jay and Lone Star pull ahead to pick up where they left off. So far, Lone Star is keeping pace, but not challenging. They come to the final straight. They both spin! Lone Star slides by Mater style to steal the lap victory. Miles comes in wildly for third, and Liftoff finally reaches the finish line. Not a lot happening except some clean, fast racing until the leaders round the final turn and both completely lose control in the 3D printed reverse funnel. Jay loses too much speed, and Lone Star is right there to take advantage. Lone Star assumes a 2-point lead over both Miles and Jay headed to the final lap. And the points leader will go for glory from the pole, Jay with a big advantage in front of Miles in the outside lane. Liftoff with trouble out of the gate, and it looks like Lone Star is going to edge out Jay for the lead. Lone Star leads the group, but all Jay has to do is beat out Miles, and so far that looks likely. Miles nowhere in sight as they fly through the Savage Square. Jay blows a tire! Here comes Miles to blow past Jay right into round 2. Jay will limp to the line for third, just ahead of 4th place Liftoff. That finish was unreal, as Jay looked so good the entire lap, trailing just behind Lone Star all the way to the final turn. He seems to get a little loose on the backside of the square, exits the turn, and pulls a hard left into the wall, so either a blown tire or damage to his axle, we can't really tell. That's gonna be it. Lone Star and Miles move on. We add today's winners to the list of round 2 drivers, and I'm hearing that none of the eliminated drivers have been tapped as potential wildcards. Congratulations to Zuru, Wenzel Rummel, Lone Star, and Miles. This has been Jim D for Indiana Diecast Racing. Be sure to check in next time for more slightly above mediocre diecast racing and the continuing round 1 action of the Final Fantasy Fracas.